using a new collection. Oh, how much do you love a new collection? Paige Evans Garden Shop collection I ordered and I received yesterday, and I have to say I ripped into it literally straight away. I had to do it. I love these. The collection does not do justice for what it actually looks like. You can look at as many pictures as you want, but until you get it in your hot little hand, it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I got to say, I wasn't a huge Bungalow Lane fan. Like, it just wasn't the colours for me. But this one, I think there's only 2 papers in the entire thing that I can see me probably not using in its entirety. It's stunning. So, I saw these blue papers and I thought that's perfect for my little girls' dress-ups with their Frozen outfits. When they were younger, they adored Frozen, like most little girls. And I just decided that I wanted to scrap them, but I didn't want to do a Frozen layout. You know, like typically cut out the Frozen banner, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to do it slightly different. So I actually went down the dress-up side of things a little bit more. Sticking with the blue in colour, but I didn't want a whole solid blue. So I literally just tore into these papers. I know some of you are cringing because, you know, it's a brand new collection. How can you do that? But it's okay. It's all good. It works out in the end. I was feeling, when I was doing this, I was actually feeling, I missed the tape there a little bit, by the way, guys, in case you're wondering why I was flipping that backwards and forwards. So the good thing, I bought the paper pad. I didn't buy the individual papers. So mine are one-sided, which is perfect for me because I am hopeless at making the decision of which side I want to use. So now I know you're going to look at this and think, why is she cutting out circles with love hearts on them? I have got these little adhesive, they're adhesive, you know, like when you have your flare buttons, well, they're adhesive epoxy circles, basically. I'm rummaging through my little cup that I keep on my desk there. That's where I put one-off things that I didn't quite use. Had to go to my enamel stash. I actually have heaps of these. I bought these off eBay and they're sticky and they go on and they create like little flare badges. So I thought to myself, you know, every layout I do, I've got to have shiny something, and Frozen is perfect for shiny. So I thought to myself, now, do I want to go over the top? Do I want to cut these circles out? There's 2 lines. There's a dotted line that if you cut it out, this is me just playing with which one I like more, basically. And I actually liked the roughed up edge one. That's the one I preferred. So I cut those out. I think I cut them out off screen. I'm not sure. But what I wanted to do is have some snowflakes kind of thing in the background. But I didn't want them to just be typically white. I didn't want to do that. So this is where I learned to do this, well, just by playing, to be completely honest with you. So I pulled out my mica powders and I pulled out one that I thought would go, I wanted it to be darker than the blue papers. That's what I wanted it to be. So I pulled out a chuck away piece of scrap. Now to hold scrap packaging, now to hold it in place, I just put a bit of tape down and it holds it pretty much like a palette. Now what I just added there was silicone glue. And I put way too much powder on there. 2 scoops would have been plenty, but I went 3 because I'm just shocking like that. So I have white modeling paste on there, and I have this that I'm scraping through at the moment is silicone glue mixed with mica powder. And it holds its form a little bit, and I wanted some bits to be white, some bits to be blue, and I wanted it to sort of meld together. So because it is a glue, I was very careful peeling it off because the blue is glue. And I didn't want lots of white. I wanted it to sort of mix together. And I went up higher with the stencil there. I should have stopped there, but I thought, no, I'll put a little bit down here. And then I ran out and I thought, yeah, that'll do. So when it comes to mixed media, okay, I did turn it off there because when you use modeling paste or silicone glue, you need to get it off your stencils ASAP. Do not let it sit there until you finished your page because you won't get it off. So I cut out my love heart circles off one of the Paige Evans Garden Shop pages. And what I decided to do was go around the edges and just fold the edges up around the epoxy dot. It gives it extra texture, so it's shiny but it's rough at the same time. And I love that. It looked so cute. And because the love hearts are actually buttons, I thought it tied into the dress up side of things, because there is a photo of my husband there doing up my daughter's dress at the back. So I thought the buttons sort of tied into that. I know it's a little bit not atypical for a Frozen layout, because you'd think, you know, snowflakes and children and dress ups. Now these, I'm playing with these. These are my new, I just got them today along with my paper collection from, I bought mine from Crazy Craft Obsessions, and these dots, they're awesome. They are so easy to remove the sticky back. They are the same height as my Crazy Craft foam. Crazy Craft foam. There's a new one for you guys. Can you tell that it's first thing in the morning? They're the same thickness as my foam strips that I use, that I order on eBay. So, and they're also the same thickness as the craft foam that I'm using at the moment. Now, the craft foam you get from Spotlight. I'm trying to find a cheaper alternative to, because obviously I scrap a lot, okay? I do a minimum of 6 layouts a week on camera. So I think you kind of can understand that when I say I'm looking for a cheaper alternative, I'm not saying that to be a Scrooge. I'm saying that because I do a lot of scrapbooking and it adds up. So hence why I'm looking for cheaper alternatives where I can. Not only that, who doesn't like a bargain? That's my theory. So I do love these 3D foam squares though. They were like $6.95, I think, from memory. And they are, if you are just a 1 or 2 layouts a week scrapbooker, they're perfect. I would not go past these things. Honestly, they're excellent. So I did play with the positioning of all these photos several times over. Now, this is something I want you to take from this. Right. What I want you to know is when I put down all that mixed media at the very beginning, it looked overwhelming and it looked wrong. It looked like there was just way too much and it was taking over the papers and it was just too crazy, right? Always remember, put down a little bit more and don't stress if when you pull it up, you go, oh, I went too far. Because your photos, your embellishments, your title, all of that is going to take up and cover over some of that mixed media. So don't panic about it. So see how now, even at this point, those photos in the center have covered up a fair portion of what I put down. You know, is it a waste? Yeah, probably. I probably could have, I was initially thinking of putting the photos straight across the center, but then I lost that beautiful blue paper in the middle. So that's why I ended up going the direction I'm going. And I also like to play with different lines for my photos. So these thickers that I'm using are called, I did write it down, they're called sprinkles. These are beautiful, beautiful thickers. but you don't get a lot of letters, and I'm pretty much down to a stack of, yeah, it just didn't really work for me. So I'm trying to Frankenstein some letters together, and that tail wasn't working for me. I used the bottom of a J. I'm literally down to the very last bits and pieces. So I'm absolutely cutting the blued lasers out of anything that I think might work. And I think that looks okay. So I ended up using a number to get the hook on the G. So here's an error. Rookie mistake. Did it anyway. I didn't line up, and I didn't put a line. Usually I use my T-square ruler here to get my words straight. And guess what? Didn't do it. So guess what? It's not straight. It's okay. Did I cry a river over it? No, I didn't. Was I frustrated? Yes, I was. Because guess what? I glued him down with art glitter glue, and it was a cool day. And on a cool day, art glitter glue, you have absolutely zero time for wiggle room. So I couldn't lift it back up. So then I had to think about it very, very quickly and figure out, how am I going to fix this up a little bit? So then I thought, well, hang on, I've got to bring my embellishment little buttons in yet. So if I put those skewed, so they're not even at the front and the back of the word, sort of put it more to the top, more to the bottom, maybe that'll take your eye away from it. It does, but it's not really, because this is pretty much where I was at. I thought this would be enough on the page, because I like the less is more sort of when it comes to embellishments. And all I'm using here at the moment is the Uniquely Creative sparkle brush, and it's like clear. It's clear, but it has a nice shimmer to it. It's beautiful, and it just added a little bit of extra shimmer to the matte white texture paste, modeling paste. Now, here's where I sort of get a little bit, so I put the word dress ups on there so that the buttons made sense, because I was feeling a bit of a disconnection between the buttons and the Frozen layout. My head, when I wanted to do this layout originally, I wanted to go full crazy Frozen, as in the movie. So then I realized, you know what this needs? And I have never done this on a layout. I've seen other people do it, but I've never done it. So I did some hand sewing, which I've done on layouts, but what I ended up doing was to take your focus away from the Frozen being crooked. I thought, if I put crisscrosses in different places on it and I hand stitch it, it's going to look like I've hand stitched the layout. No, hand stitched the Frozen to the layout. That's what I was trying to say. And it kind of lends itself to, it's okay for it not to be straight. And it works. So sometimes when you create a layout and you think to yourself, is this going in the right way? Is this going where I want it to go? Am I doing justice to the papers? Am I doing justice for my photos and the story? Because sometimes it is difficult to get the story and the photos and the papers to all coincide cohesively with each other. In the end, this is quite a busy layout for me, but apologies for the bell. Sorry, I'm doing this voiceover in the morning and the school is going in at the end of my street, and they still have that horrendous bell that I've been complaining about for 6 months. Actually, I've been complaining about it for several years, but that's okay. Now, so I'm just using white I'm looking in the wrong spot. If I look in the right spot, I'll know what it is. So I'm just using embroidery thread. Now, this is just the cheap stuff from the $2 shop. I have spent a lot of money on the metallic thread, And for the love of me, I cannot get that stuff to sew through properly. It just doesn't work. It shreds my paper as it's going through, and nobody wants to get to this point on a layout and then have it shredded by a last minute idea to use some thread on a page. So it comes together, looks really good. Now, something I do want to say while I'm waffling on with all the bits and pieces, and you can see me just doing some hand sewing, I do go through and add a bit of extra sewing around. I'm just cutting these bits off for the minute because, as I've said to you, I don't waste anything, and I've already cut out a title out of this white. So I was just cutting off the extra bits that were getting caught on things. So I'm going around the edge and hand sewing a little bit around the edge now. And I don't know if I leave it all on there or if I skip a little bit. I think I did leave it on there, to be honest, because I don't think I've ever done hand sewing on. If you want me to do a little quick how-to, quick bit video on how to do different what's it called? Different embroidery things. Like on this one, I'm using a straight stitch. I also like to use all various stitches. I did do crosses over the words, which I've never done on I don't do cross stitch or anything like that, but it works. So it does take your attention away from, and it makes it, or will you be the judge of it? If you want to see that close-ups, go and have a look on Facebook, because I've put a heap of close-ups on there. And the other thing that makes the title work is by using the other thickers, which are the perfect thickers, and they're Paige Evans ones as well, and they're called the Happy Life thickers. So it totally works. So while I'm sewing this on here, I'm going to do the shameless plug for my channel. If you enjoy a little bit of chitty chat Aussie content and a little bit of scrapbooking all day, every day, I post 6 videos a week on my channel, and I absolutely love what I do. I've been scrapbooking for 20 years on and off, in between having kids and all the rest of it. And now what I do is I scrapbook full time, and I'm treating it as a full-time job. No, I don't get paid for it, but guess what? I absolutely love doing it. So it works. I'm extremely privileged that my husband works full-time and I get to stay at home and scrapbook all day, every day. It's so much fun. I love it. So I will be looking at doing lives down the track. I am also doing a giveaway in the first week of November. Details for that will come very, very soon. If you pop over to my Facebook page, you will get updated there as well. In the description below, you will find the link to my Facebook page and my Instagram. Still working on my Instagram, guys. Stick with me. I'm still working with it. I'm trying to figure out how to link them and all the rest of it. It's not working. So I remembered I had these frozen little snowflake flurries in my collection from forever ago. These are VELLUM, and they've been in there for a very long time. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. They're FRANCHEVILLE, and they're small vellum die cut snowflakes. That's what they are. And I've never been to the snow. I don't have photos of the snow. So guess what? I'm glad I remembered them. And they kind of make the little snowflake flurries. It's like they sort of pop to the front and you can see the spots and you can see the snowflakes. And I think it works really well. So for the close-ups, coming up real soon. And basically, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Here's the close-ups for you. Please smash that like button for me so that other people can find my channel and see how it works, because the crosses are all over the place. It sort of guides your eye and you don't notice that it's crooked. It's another way to do it. So Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I absolutely love reading your comments and commenting back to you all day. It makes me feel less alone in my scrapbooking. And I absolutely love to find out how far my videos have traveled. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I will chat to you real soon. Pop over to Facebook if you want the close-ups so you can dissect it a little bit and pull out the bits that you really want to recreate in your own albums. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.